All right, so let's go ahead and just find our comfortable seat. Legs crossed, legs out in front, however best serves your lower back as you sit. And maybe before we even close our eyes, we'll let our heads turn from side to side. Maybe half neck roll, roll those shoulders back and down. I'm looking out the front window here and somebody hung up a beautiful like wind music chime with a big sunshine on it. It's super pretty. When your neck and shoulders feel as though you can comfortably settle into your seated position, I'd invite you to close your eyes. Soften your face. Beginning part of all our practices are really started with this moment of centering. Of our transition from our external world to our internal world. For many of us, the internal world is something that we're unfamiliar with, sometimes even scared of. Many of us afraid if we go there and we really look at ourselves, we won't like what we see, or get overwhelmed with negative emotion. What we learn with yoga is quite the opposite. We learn how to go inward. We learn how to navigate through the struggles, through the weeds. We learn how to see the flowers that are within. Each of us we have a human nature. We have shadows. We have stuff. We can likely explain why we are the way we are. Maybe we have childhood experiences or life experiences that have influenced greatly our behavior or the way that our brain operates. However, in this practice, it's as though we can set all of that explaining away. And we can go right to the core of who we really are. This morning, as you settle in, I invite you to just visualize your own self as maybe as a light. It may be as beauty, but it's something in your mind's eye that is not consumed by the weeds, not altered by the experiences. Allowing ourselves to see our own selves as as we really are. If you're visualizing light, you might see that brightness grow. You could start at your heart or your head and expand. The light could envelop your entire body, not just the front body, but the sides, the back. As that light or that bright grows, feel your body breathing. We're here today to physically address lower back, as we prepare to move to our physical practice. Acknowledge if there's more that you need out of this hour. Whether that's physical or mental, emotional, whatever it is that you're here to do this morning. With an inhale, we'll bring the palms together, tuck the thumbs at the heart, bow the chin towards the chest, soften the face, let the shoulders relax. Inhaling to bring your thumbs to that space right between the eyebrows. Exhaling to bring the thumbs back to the heart. Weave your fingers together as you take a breath in. Use your exhale to drop the hands to the lap. Tuck the chin to the chest. And let your shoulders be soft. With an inhale, our arms will lift up and our throat will open a bit. Exhaling, your arms float down and your chin tucks down. Inhaling, arms up and throat open. Exhaling, arms down and chin tucked. Inhaling again to lift. And exhaling to lower. Keep going a few more times. Your breath just initiating your movement as always. Maybe you're still visualizing your being as that light, free from any experiences you've had, or even free from your personality. Just light. If not light, maybe it's energy. Next time your hands are down, you'll keep them down. Let the shoulders soften again. Let the face soften. With an inhale, you'll roll the right ear up and over towards the right shoulder. Exhaling, chin rolls down to the chest. Inhaling, left ear rolls up and over towards left shoulder. Exhaling, chin rolls towards the chest. Again to the right, just side to side. It might be that your head can take full circles. Of course, if you circle one way, you've got to circle the other way. We'll take 2 more breaths doing whatever we're doing. Bottom of that last exhale, we'll meet with the chin tucked at the chest. Okay. Inhaling, head back to the center, get your spine nice and long. Exhale to rock your head back. Open your throat. Roll the shoulders back. See if you can broaden that collarbone, like your heart could lift towards the sky a bit. And take some nice big breaths, feeling that lift all the way from the pelvic floor, from your sits bones, all the way up through your heart. Inhale, head is back to center, eyes opening if they need to, so you can roll yourself around, meet on all fours. Once on all fours, you might need to stretch a leg out behind you. Just let that hip be open, right or left, it doesn't matter. Just opening that hip, letting the heel rotate from side to side so that thigh bone gets to move in the hip socket. A lot of the times our lower backs are tender, not just because of the spine, but because of the hips, because of the back of our thighs, our hamstrings. It's switching legs, letting that other hip be open and that thigh bone rotate. And we'll meet back then at all fours, turning our fingertips back towards our leg, or even towards the side. We want to stretch the wrist. And so maybe you just stay put, your weight pressing down through the wrist, or maybe you rotate or circle the torso a bit. Shifting weight, curious about sensation in the wrists or in the arms. Your fingers will turn back to the front, but you'll flip your hand so that the top of your hand is down on your mat. And for me, I only do one wrist at a time just because it's a lot. And you can try to straighten that arm. You might need to leave it bent. You could shift your weight a bit from side to side. Just play with it. When you're ready, you'll do the other. Eventually, we all meet at all fours, our fingers spread, our palms like suction cups gripping our mat, knees right under our hips, crown of the head reaching forward. Let's drop our chest down between our arms and pull the shoulder blades towards each other and the rest of your spine. I know you know this, but rest of the spine stays steady. And just warming those shoulders a bit. Then lift the chest up the shoulder blades slide apart, rest of your spine still stays steady. Drop the chest, let the shoulder blades slide together. Inhaling, let the chest lift up, slide your shoulder blades apart. Exhaling, drop it, slide them together. One more time, up and down, shoulder blades slide together. Come back to neutral. Pelvis only then, you'll tuck the tailbone between the legs, then let the tailbone lift up towards your ceiling. Tuck the tailbone between the legs, lift it to the ceiling, go back and forth a few times. You could connect it to breath. And then finally, we get the whole spine through cat-cow. So it'll be your inhale that brings you to cow. Your exhale that tucks your tailbone, tucks your chin, arches your back for cat. Inhaling, tailbone lifts, throat and collarbone opens for cow. Exhale, push it back to cat. Inhaling forward to cow. You're gonna keep going your pace. If you wanna move faster, just breathe a little faster. Want to pause one place or another, you pause. If you want to wiggle the hips or the shoulders, you wiggle the hips. And we'll take 2 more breaths. Meeting back at tabletop, getting the knees apart enough that you can slide the butt back towards the heels. Bring the forehead towards the earth. Maybe it meets the mat. Maybe you need to stack your hands. But find your child's pose. Once you're in child's pose, you'll let the weight shift in your hips from side to side. Almost as though you're curious about what's going on in the hips this morning. Are they holding any sort of tension? It might be after you've shifted the weight from side to side, you can drop the forehead and just rest in the middle. Choosing whether your arms stay forward, engaged, pushing your butt towards your heels, or whether you choose to wrap your arms around your legs and relax your shoulders. Great place for you to remind yourself of your intention. Yes, it's lower back, but was there more this morning? Feeling the lower back in particular, feeling the way the muscles have to stretch across the back of your hips to allow this. If your arms are wrapped around your legs, you're going to bring them forward. And inhale will bring us all forward. Let's roll over our knees, get our hips open. And then use our exhale to send our butt back, close our hips up. Inhaling to come forward, open those hips. Exhaling, butt back, hips hinged. Inhaling forward, you're gonna keep going. If you allow those hips to dip when you're forward, just make sure your core is engaged, protecting lower back. Do 2 more. When we meet, we're actually going to meet forward in what would be low plank, or if we're letting those hips dip, it's more like an up dog. Shoulders roll back, belly is in. Bending your elbows, slowly come on down to the earth. Let your legs lift up so your hips are nice and open. Your hands are at mid-chest level. Inhale, come up to just a baby cobra. Nice, pull your elbows in. Crown of the head will reach forward. And ever so mindfully, you'll take your shoulders to the right, back to the middle, to the left, into the middle, and to the right, side to side. Just nice and slow. Your hips stay anchored. Good. Come back to the middle. Drop your forehead or your cheek to the earth. Relax your back, particularly your lower back. Good. If your cheek is on the mat, bring it so that your forehead's back in the middle. Inhaling to get to cobra. Elbows hugged right into our ribs. We're going to inhale a little higher, slide our elbows so they're on the mat, right underneath our shoulders. Yeah, and so your instincts is where you're at. Your legs then, bring them together. Zip them up so you're like squeezing your butt, your thighs, your calves, and then you're pressing down with the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Roll your shoulders back and down. Feel that lower back. Nice. Inhale. With your exhale, elbows out, chest down, forehead down. Maybe your hands are stacked for a resting place. You'll bring your hands to mid-chest level. Roll the shoulders up and back and down. Tuck the toes. We're pressing up to our knees with an inhale. Tuck the toes. Get up and back with your exhale to down dog and let your feet pedal. Just nice and slow with the pedals. Back of the legs getting to lengthen. Your hips as high and back as far as they'll go. Ears right between your upper arms. Feel that body, feel the length. Breath in, breath out, I'll drop our knees to our earth. Let's kick our right foot out, let it be our little kickstand. Left leg will lengthen. You're rolling on to the side so that your hips stack, shoulders stack. Outside edge of that left foot presses down into the mat. And then yes, top arm is up if we wish. Maybe it's down alongside our ear, our palm facing down. And not only are we reaching with that arm, but it's like we're reaching with a side body, like your hip and your armpit almost could reach towards the ceiling. Your neck is nice and neutral. Nice big breath. Inhaling, top arm to the ceiling. Exhale your hand to your hip, unstack your hips, unstack your shoulders, roll back to all fours. Sweet. Left foot to your kickstand. Right leg lengthens out so your hips can stack. Your shoulders stack. When you're ready, top arm is to the ceiling. Exhaling it down alongside your ear, palm down. Find that length in the side body. Neck is neutral. Next inhale, top arm is up. Your exhale will bring it to the hip. Unstack your hips, unstack your arms, your shoulders, you're back to all fours. Tuck your toes, take your breath in. With your exhale, up and back to down dog. Maybe feet pedal, either way, hips high, hips back. And it's more important that your hips are high and back so you have your lumbar curve than it is for your heels to be on the ground. But once you've got your hips high and back, then your heels do reach for the ground, which is what stretches the back of your leg. Good. Let's walk our hands slowly back towards our feet. Meet in our forward fold, knees bent, chin tucked in, shoulders, of course, soft and relaxed. With an inhale, we'll slide halfway, flat back, crown of the head forward. Exhaling to fold. Let's bring our arms out in front of us. Press down through the heels. Your core is engaged, your knees bent. You're going to inhale. Use your core to lift you all the way up, all the way to standing. The arms will drop down beside the torso. Nice job. Step forward then with the right foot. And your back foot's going to turn probably about a 45-degree angle. You're going to square your hips with the front of your mat. When you're ready, it's an exhale that will hinge your hips and bring you down over that front leg. Good. Press down through the back leg, all the way to the heel. Press down through the front heel. Roll the shoulders back and down. Your core is engaged, so like your torso is parallel with the earth. Inhaling, torso up. Front foot steps back, and left foot steps forward. Back foot is maybe 45 degrees. Shift your hips so you're square with the front of your mat. Breath in, breath out will hinge you over. And same thing, down through the back heel, down through the front heel. Your hips are level or like squared still. Your shoulders back, down away from your ears, your core engaged. Nice job. Next inhale, torso is up. Inhale, front foot back, so your feet are under your hips. Let's bend the knees a little, hinge at the hip. Come all the way back down to your forward fold. Tuck your chin in, drop your arms. Nice big breaths. Bending your knees enough you can get your hands on the earth. Walk your hands back out. Let's meet in down dog. Hips high, hips back. On and off our toes a couple times. Walking your hands further then so we can meet in plank. High or low if you want your knees down, drop your knees. Regardless of high or low, roll those shoulders back, get them away from your ears. Pull the belly button, the solar plexus in. Good, keep holding, keep breathing. Nice job, keep going. We're gonna lower ourselves to the earth. So if we're up, we wanna shift our weight forward, bend the elbows, let them hug the ribs all the way down. Inhaling, the shoulders roll back and down, the chest lifts to your cobra. Bring the elbows so they're right under the shoulders, find Sphinx again. Legs zip together, pressing them towards each other and down at the same time. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. Feel the lower back. It's compressed pretty good. This is extension of your spine, like a back bend. Inhale, exhale, elbows out, chest down, hands to mid-chest level. Tuck your toes, elbows are in. We're inhaling to the knee, low plank. Exhaling up and back to down dog. Hips high, hips back, maybe feet pedal. Maybe you're just on and off your toes a few times. With an inhale, we'll bring our right foot forward, get it up and in between our hands. Turn the back foot and plant it. Then bring your right elbow to your right knee, your left hand to your hip. Let's twist and open our chest to the left and maybe open our hip. We could lift top arm to the ceiling. We could drop it alongside our ear again. Thumb would be up this time. You're gonna peek at your front knee, make sure it's in line with your toes. Good, top arm to the ceiling. Hand to the hip. Reach your right hand down alongside your shin or even on your ankle, and then try to straighten that right leg a bit. And so essentially you're now in triangle. Maybe top arm would get right back up. Good, if you've got your arm up, use an exhale, bring it to the hip, bend the front knee again. Unstack your shoulders, bring your hands to the earth, toes of the back foot, hold it here. And we can either drop the back knee or not, but we're gonna bring the left hand to the knee, twist our shoulders now to the left or to the right. And maybe top arm is up. Good job, breath in. Breath out brings top arm down, hand all the way to the earth. We need to send our front foot back. So perhaps we drop the back knee and get it there, or we just pull it back. Meeting at plank, high or low, your call. Holding though. All kinds of strength in that core of yours. That's how we really do protect the lower back the best. Good, shift your weight forward. Use an exhale, make those elbows hug the ribs all the way down. Inhaling to cobra. Nice job. Keep it up. Slide those elbows under the shoulders, back to Sphinx. Legs zip together. Shoulders roll back, heart lifts up. Nice big breath. Inhale, exhale, elbows out. Slide your hands mid-chest level. Shoulders back and down, elbows hug in. Use an inhale to get up to plank and exhale to go to down dog. In down dog, we can pedal our feet or stay steady. Nice big breath though. We need to bring our left foot forward. So maybe right knee drops. When you're there, turn the back foot and plant it. Bring your left elbow to your left knee, your right hand to your hip. Twist and open the chest, the hips to the left, to the right. Peek at that front knee, make sure it stays in line with the toes. Maybe top arm is to the ceiling. Maybe it's alongside the ear. Lots of length on that side body. Nice job. If arm is alongside the ear, lift it to the ceiling, hand back to the hip. Left arm extends alongside that left shin, maybe moves on top of it to the ankle. And you're seeing what happens if you try to straighten that front leg. You land in triangle, arm up if you wish. Good, if top arm is up, bring the hand to the hip, bend your front knee, unstack your shoulders, your hips, hands to the earth, toes of the back foot. You're bringing your front foot back, maybe the knee needs to drop. We meet back in plank. Feeling your core as it holds you up. Good, keep breathing. Shifting weight forward, using an exhale, your elbows will bend, you'll lower to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale to cobra. Then slip those elbows under the shoulders, find space. Zip your legs together. Shoulders back and down so your heart lifts. Feeling that lower back. Kind of the opposite of our gardener's back that you were talking about. Gardener's back, we're usually bent over. We're forgetting to keep our core engaged. Inhale. Exhale, elbows out. Stack your hands, rest your forehead for a sec. Rest your lower back. Inhaling, head up, hands to mid-chest level. Roll those shoulders back and down, tuck your elbows in. With an inhale, you're up to plank, high or low. Exhaling to down dog. Good, hips high and back in your down dog. And we're gonna be here a couple breaths, so if you feel like lifting a leg up towards the ceiling or even stacking a hip, go for it. Good, 2 more breaths. Bottom of that second exhale, you'll just drop your knees and slide yourself back to your child's pose. And totally up to you what you do with the shoulders. If they need to rest, they might wrap around the legs. But we do want our lower back to rest. Good. If your arms are around your legs, bring them forward. Let's inhale, come on up to tabletop. And I think let's go to pigeon. We haven't done that in a while. But I think that our lower backs and our hips might actually really appreciate that. And so you can either bring your right foot forward from here, or you could tuck the toes, lift up and back to down dog, and then bring it forward. But we'll bring that right foot forward so that the knee is up, like up between our hands. And then for some of us, we pull the shin so that it's more parallel with the front of our mat. But the trick here with pigeon is we really want to keep our hips level. And it's way better when we're doing this in class, we can prop ourselves all up. So there at home, I'm just hoping that you'd be really mindful as to leveling the hips to the best of your ability and keeping that foot tucked in order to ensure that we're not overdoing it on the lower back. And so here it is, we hang out. That left hip flexor is wide open, the right one's closed, your core is engaged, of course. Let's see what happens if we bring our hands up to our knee, or if we had blocks to our blocks. Some people like to bring their arms out like pigeon wings, lift their chest up. Yeah, any version of that. Your hands will eventually make their way back to the ground. Okay, to get out of this, we're gonna roll to the right butt and then use our left arm to bring that left leg around. And let's bring it all the way around so it's straight. Keep our right one bent. Sole of the foot will go right into the inner thigh. And we'll take a hinge forward. So shoulders back and down, you're just hinging over that straight leg. Nice flat back. Bring your left hand to that left shin or toe, your right hand to your hip. You're going to twist and open your shoulders or your heart towards the right. Awesome. Take a breath in. Exhale to untwist. Back to that hinge. Maybe your hands are on your shin, on your toes, on your ground. Inhaling, get your torso up. Awesome. We'll bring both legs out straight. Both toes to both shins. You're in staff pose. Shoulders back and down, belly in. Maybe your eyes close and you breathe. You remember why it is you're on your mat this morning. Just one style of meditation. That's what yoga is. One way in which we connect our mind to our body. Instead of our mind wandering from the past to the future, all around, it stays right here in this body. Good. Inhaling, eyes open. Let's kick our feet to the left, roll around into our hands and knees, and meet back at tabletop. Just back at a place for a neutral spine for a sec. Maybe you need to do a couple cat-cows or wiggle your hips. When you're ready, though, that left knee comes forward and you're getting into your pigeon on that left side. You might peek around to make sure your right foot is straight out from that hip. And then remember, you're trying to get both of your hips to stay level, which is hard at home. When we're here, we like to put our bolsters and all kinds of props under us to help us do this. And our chest lifts up. Your core is certainly engaged. If you want your arms up, you could have them out to the side, you could have them back. You could have them forward, I suppose, or all the way up. Nice. Those hips still just trying to stay level. We'll do one more breath. Then our left butt is going to come to the ground. We're going to use our right arm to pull that right leg all the way forward. Left one stays bent, the sole of the foot right at the inner thigh. Nice long spine, toes of the straight leg in, exhale to hinge. Just feeling again, muscles across the back of the hips, the lower back. Nice, reach for the shin with your right hand or the toes. Your left hand's gonna move to your hip. You still have your core engaged, flat back. With an exhale, your chest turns towards the left. Inhale, with your exhale, untwist, come back to your fold. Inhaling, torso up, and both legs straight to staff pose. Scooch forward on your mat, make sure you've got enough room to lie down. We'll be in staff pose for just a few breaths, so if you wish to close the eyes again, pull the toes towards the shin. This, of course, strengthens your core, which helps support that lower back. And bending your knees then, arms out in front. Come back, but come back halfway and hold it. It's as though your belly is holding you up, even though your back might want to take over and make your belly do the work. Good, so cut what's left back there, cut that in half, come down further. Don't forget to breathe. Cut that in half, come down further, and then all the way down. Pull those knees in towards the chest, hands to the knees. Give them a hug to you. Maybe rock side to side. Let that lower back connect with the ground. Maybe your knees find circles. They could stay together, they could move apart. We'll bring both hands to the right knee, drop your left foot to the earth, maybe even straighten the left leg. And you're in wind reliever. Good. If left leg is straight, bend it. Inhale to pull left knee in, hands to the knee, right foot to the earth. Maybe the leg even straightens. But if right leg is straight, bend it. Use an exhale to drop both feet to the earth. Bring your knees together, your feet out and apart, perhaps mat distance apart, and let your knees just fall together. All right, so we want that right knee to move up out of the way so that you can push that left knee down towards the middle of your mat. Then your left knee moves up out of the way so your right knee can push down towards the middle of your mat. Same thing, left knee towards the middle of your mat. Side to side, it's kind of like windshield wiper. A little bit different muscle group though. Your feet stay connected to the earth. Do one more time each side. Meeting with our knees drop towards the middle, towards each other. Our feet will heel toe in so they're hip distance apart. Both our knees will drop to the right. Your shoulders might need to wiggle around, make sure they're connected with the ground. Top knee only moves up towards the middle, drops out and over to the left, legs open for a sec, bottom leg catches, both to the left. Again, top knee is your lead, moves to the middle, legs open, bottom leg catches, both to the right. And take yourself side to side several times, totally your pace. Maybe you pause somewhere for a couple breaths. Okay, let's do 2 more breaths. When we meet, we'll just meet with knees bent, soles of the feet on the earth. Checking in with lower back, seeing if it needs a little bit more releasing or if it's ready for the legs to stretch out. If it needs more releasing, your knees will come in towards your chest, hands to the knees. Hug them to you as you rock side to side. Maybe you reach for the feet and turn this into happy baby. Maybe your knees circle or figure eight. When that lower back is okay, you will go ahead and stretch the legs out. If legs straight proves to be too much on the lower back, you can always keep the knees bent. If legs are out, you want them at least as wide as the hip. Our feet rolling out and open. Our arms resting somewhere that the shoulders can relax. Our eyes closed. We move back to that stillness. Back to the place where we're inward. We've no longer got the movement of the body to help maintain our focus. We've just got the breath. As you relax, you might remember to visualize yourself, see through your personality, see through your behaviors or your quirks, see through and see that your light or that your energy all that other stuff just being stuff you've learned, you've put on through the years. Wherever awareness is, bring it back to breath. Maybe it's your belly that rises and falls. Maybe it's your chest. Remember that you have fingers and toes. Energy is in this body, and so we wiggle them. Maybe the head moves a bit from side to side. Maybe our arms lift to the ceiling and they drop alongside our ears. So we have one last stretch. The knees bend. Your hips shift one way or another so that you can roll to a side body. When you're ready to come on back to a seated position, your arms are going to push you, finding your way back to your butt, your sits bones connected to your mat. When you get there, you'll use an inhale to bring the palms together. And exhale to tuck the chin to the chest, and no hurry. One last time, you see your light. And you recognize that that part of you that is light, the part of you that's free from all your experiences, all the ways that you've been conditioned. That part of you is the same as that part of me, the same as that part of everyone else in this practice, in our neighborhoods. Everyone, everywhere. That part of me honors that part of you. Namaste.